Stop scrolling right now. You are walking blind through a minefield. You think you understand women. You think you know when she's interested. Statistically, you are missing 90% of the signals because you are looking at her conscious behavior, what she says. But the truth, the raw, unfiltered truth about whether she is physically aroused or what we call W3T lives in the subconscious. It lives in the biology she cannot control. Before we dissect the 9 undeniable signs of high arousal, hit that subscribe button right now. If you want to stop guessing and start knowing, you need to be locked in with this channel. We don't deal in feelings here. We deal in evolutionary data. Subscribe, turn on notifications, let's get to work. Here's the reality check. A woman can fake a smile, she can fake a laugh, she can even fake interest to get a free drink or validation, but she cannot fake her autonomic nervous system when a woman is W3T, which is just a street term for high physiological arousal. Her body is flooded with a cocktail of norepinephrine, dopamine, and oxytocin. This chemical flood forces her body to react in ways she is not even aware of. Today, we are going deep. We are not just listing signs, we are breaking down the evolutionary psychology behind why they happen, so you never miss them again. Let's start with the eyes. You've heard eyes are the window to the soul, but in behavioral psychology, eyes are the window to the nervous system. The first massive sign is mydriasis, or extreme pupil dilation. Here is the science. Your eyes have 2 sets of muscles controlling the pupil, the sphincter which closes it and the dilator which opens it. When a woman looks at you and feels zero attraction, her pupils react only to light. If it's bright, they shrink. But when she looks at a man who triggers a mating response, her brain screams, "I need more data." It forces the pupils to expand to let in maximum light regardless of how bright the room is. If you are talking to a girl in a well-lit coffee shop or a bar with decent lighting and her eyes look like giant black pools where you can barely see the color of her iris, that is a biological green light. Her brain is trying to consume your image. She is literally drinking you in visually, but it goes deeper than just pupil size. You need to look for the glazed gaze. When arousal hits, the body releases tension in the facial muscles to prepare for intimacy. This causes her eyelids to droop slightly. It's a heavy, sleepy look. She isn't tired. She is intoxicated by your presence. Most men mistake this for boredom. They think, oh, she looks sleepy. I should stop talking. No, you idiot. She looks sleepy because her body is entering a parasympathetic state of relaxation and pleasure. She is looking at you through a filter of dopamine. If she maintains this heavy-lidded eye contact for more than 3 seconds without breaking it, she is challenging you. In the animal kingdom, prolonged eye contact is a threat or a mating proposal. If she isn't fighting you, she wants to mate with you. It is that binary. Don't just look at her, look into her. Is she blinking rapidly? That's stress or discomfort. Is her blink rate slowing down to almost nothing? That is the trance state of attraction. She is fixated. You are the only thing in her reality right now. If you're tracking the eyes, you're off to a good start. But now you need to look at the body. This brings us to sign number 2, primal pining and displacement activities. This is where most guys get confused. You're on a date or you're talking to a girl at a party and she starts fidgeting, she's fixing her hair, she's smoothing out her dress, she's adjusting her necklace. You think she's nervous or bored. You're wrong. In evolutionary biology, this is called pining. Birds do it. They clean their feathers to look more attractive to a potential mate. Humans do the exact same thing. When a woman is in the presence of a high-value male, someone who could be a potential partner, her self-consciousness spikes. She suddenly cares intensely about how she looks. She will run her fingers through her hair to release pheromones from the scalp. She will smooth her clothes to highlight her figure. But the most critical part of this sign is the neck exposure. Pay attention. Does she tilt her head to the side while she fixes her hair? Does she play with a necklace, drawing your eyes to her throat? The neck is the most vulnerable part of the human body. It contains the jugular vein. In the wild, exposing your neck to a predator means death. Exposing your neck to a member of your species means submission and trust. If a woman is talking to you and constantly touching her neck, collarbone, or playing with a chain, Around her throat, she is subconsciously signaling that she feels safe with you. She is submitting to your frame. It is a biological invitation for you to take the lead. She is showing you her soft spots. Do not ignore this. Now, let's escalate. We need to talk about space. Sign number 3 is the collapse of proxemics. Every human being has a personal defense zone. It's a bubble about 18 into 2 FT around our body. We don't let people inside this bubble unless we trust them or want them. When a woman is indifferent to you, that bubble is made of concrete. She stays back. If you lean in, she leans out. But when she is W3T, when the arousal kicks in, that wall crumbles. She wants you in her space. You need to look for the lean. It's subtle, but it's loud. When you speak, does she lean her torso across the table? Does she align her knees towards you? If you are sitting at a bar, does she swivel her chair so her entire body is facing you? Or is she just turning her head? If her body is pointed at you like a compass pointing north, you are the magnetic pole, and here is the advanced level of this sign, the removal of barriers. Look at the table between you. Is her purse between you? Is her drink between you? Is a menu standing up like a wall? If she is interested, she will subconsciously move these things aside. She will put her purse on the floor. She will push the drink to the side. Why? Because her reptilian brain wants a clear path. She wants nothing physical, blocking the connection between her body and yours. She is clearing the runway, and then comes the haptic test. This is the touch. Maybe her knee grazes yours under the table. Maybe her arm brushes yours while you're walking. A woman who isn't interested will apologize and pull away instantly. A woman who is aroused will let it linger. She will leave her leg pressing against yours. She is craving the dopamine hit of your skin against hers. This is called haptic communication. Music. She is speaking to you without words, asking you, "Are you brave enough to touch me back?" If you miss this, if you pull away, you are signaling rejection. You need to hold your ground. If she presses against you, you press back. That is the language she is speaking. Pause for effect. We are just scratching the surface here. We haven't even touched on the vocal changes or the psychological mirroring yet. If you are not subscribed yet, you are playing a losing game. Click subscribe, because in the next section, we are going to break down the bedroom voice and the secret language of her hands, things that are happening right in front of your face that you are completely missing. Listen to me carefully, because this is where guys fumble the bag. You might be sitting across from a woman thinking the conversation is going well, but you are completely ignoring the physical war happening on the table in front of you. We are talking about the destruction of barriers. Every human being has a natural defense mechanism that compels them to put objects between themselves and people they are unsure about. It is a subconscious shield. But when a woman is W3T, when that biological desire overrides her logic, she wants that shield gone. Watch her hands. Watch the objects on the table. Is she moving her purse from the table to the floor? Is she pushing the menu aside? Is she moving her wine glass to the side rather than keeping it directly in front of her? This isn't random cleaning. This is symbolic. She is clearing the runway. Her reptilian brain is screaming that she wants a direct, unblocked line of access to you. She is subconsciously removing obstacles because she wants you to be able to reach her, and she wants to be able to reach you. If you see her clearing that space, do not pull back. That is your invitation to step into her personal zone. This leads directly into the concept of haptic communication, or the language of touch. You need to stop being terrified of accidental contact and start analyzing it. If you are sitting side by side or in a booth, pay attention to her legs. If her thigh brushes against yours or her knee touches your knee, watch her reaction like a hawk. A woman who is not interested will recoil. She will apologize and pull away instantly to reestablish that safety buffer. But a woman who is high on attraction, she will freeze. She will let that contact linger. She might not push harder, but she won't pull away. She is feeling the heat of your skin against hers. And that physical sensation is releasing dopamine in her brain. This is a test. She is waiting to see if you have the confidence to leave your leg there or if you are going to chicken out and apologize. If you pull away, you fail the test. You signal that you are afraid of her sexuality. Stay grounded. Let the tension build. Now, you need to stop looking for a second and start listening. I'm not talking about the words coming out of her mouth. I'm talking about the frequency of the broadcast. When a woman is in a state of high arousal, her vocal cords physically change. It's called the pitch drop. You might think high-pitched voices are cute or feminine, and sure, they are friendly. But a friendly voice is not a turned-on voice. When she gets that feeling in her stomach, her muscles relax, including the larynx. Her voice will drop to a lower register. It becomes breathy, slower, and more textured. This is what we call the vocal fry. That low vibrating creak at the end of her sentences, if she sounds like she just woke up, even though it's 8:12 p.m., that is the bedroom voice. She is no longer projecting to the room. She is projecting only to you. She is creating an intimate sound bubble where only two people exist. And here is the killer detail that 99% of men miss: the silence. When a woman is nervous or just being polite, she talks a lot. She fills the air because silence is awkward. But when there is sexual tension, silence is heavy, it's electric. If she stops talking, looks you in the eyes, and just lets the silence hang there, she is not bored. She is waiting. She is comfortable in the tension because she is enjoying the vibe you are creating. She is giving you the space to make a move. If you panic and start blabbering about the weather or your job just to fill the quiet, you are killing the mood. You are killing the attraction. Embrace the pause. Let her sit in it. If you are finding value in this breakdown and you want to master this level of psychological awareness, you need to subscribe to the channel right now. We are giving you the keys to the kingdom, so hit that button and join the tribe. We are going deeper into the micro expressions now, the stuff that happens in a split second. You have to be sharp to catch this. You are locked in. The barriers are down. Her voice has dropped. And now you need to watch the scanning pattern of her eyes. This is the most famous signal in evolutionary psychology. But most guys are too busy looking at her chest to notice it on her face. It is called the triangular gaze. In a normal platonic conversation, a person's eyes move from your left eye to your right eye and back. It stays in the upper hemisphere of the face, but when desire enters the chat, the pattern changes. Her eyes will start at your eyes, drop down to your mouth, and then snap back up to your eyes. Trace that shape. It's a triangle. Why does she do this? Because the brain goes where the desire is. She is subconsciously looking at your lips, because she is visualizing what it would feel like to kiss them. She is checking the structure of your mouth. This is often accompanied by her own oral fixation. Watch her lips. When a woman is aroused, blood pressure rises, and her lips actually become slightly more sensitive and engorged. You might see her lick her lips, not because she is hungry, but to cool them down or moisten them, or she might bite her lower lip while you are talking. This is a suppression signal. She is physically trying to hold back the energy she is feeling. If you are talking and you see her eyes dip to your lips and she bites her own lip, stop talking. You don't need more words. The signal has been sent. From the face, we move to the entire body's rhythm. This is a phenomenon known as isopraism, or essentially the chameleon effect. Humans are herd animals. We want to be in sync with the people we like. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, she will subconsciously mirror your body language. If you lean back and cross your arms, watch the clock. Within 30 seconds, she will likely do something similar. If you take a sip of your drink, she will grab hers. She is trying to get on your wavelength. She wants to feel what you feel. But I want to give you the advanced black belt level tip here. Don't just look for movement, look for respiration. This is hard to see, but if you are close enough, it is the ultimate tell. Watch her breathing rate. Is she breathing in sync with you? That is deep rapport. But more importantly, look for the adrenaline breath. When we are sexually aroused, our heart rate spikes, mimicking the fight or flight response. If she is just sitting there, but her breathing is becoming shallow and rapid, if you see her chest rising and falling faster than normal, Her body is preparing for physical exertion. She is literally panting, but in a socially acceptable way. Her system is flooded with norepinephrine. She is physically reacting to your presence as if it's a drug. Most guys think she's just breathing, but you know better now. You are watching the biology at work. If you want to know how to seal the deal once you see these signs, you need to stay tuned. We haven't even touched on the Freudian slip of the hands yet, and that is the one that gives it all away. Make sure you've liked this video so the algorithm knows you're one of the few men who actually wants to learn the truth. Now, we are entering the territory that most men are too polite to notice, but you are here to learn the truth and not to be polite. We need to talk about the Freudian slip of the hands. You have heard of a Freudian slip in speech where you accidentally say what you are subconsciously thinking. Well, the body does the exact same thing. When a woman is W3T, her mind is flooded with thoughts of touch, friction, and physical connection, but because she is in a social setting, she cannot act on those impulses directly with you yet. So her brain redirects that energy to her hands. This is called displacement activity. You need to watch what her hands are doing when she isn't talking. Is she holding the stem of her wine glass and absentmindedly stroking it up and down? Is she running her finger around the wet rim of the glass over and over again? Is she playing with a straw, moving it in and out of the lid? This sounds crazy until you see it, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. She is treating the object in her hand the way her subconscious wants to treat you. It is a rhythmic, repetitive motion that mimics intimacy. She is zoning out, staring at you with those dilated pupils we talked about, and her hands are acting out her fantasies on a piece of glass or plastic. If you catch her doing this, do not say anything about it. Just know that the battery is fully charged. She is broadcasting a signal loud and clear that her mind is in the bedroom, even if her body is still in the restaurant. This is the kind of intel that separates the amateurs from the pros. If you want to be a pro, you need to hit that subscribe button because we are decoding the matrix of human behavior here, and you do not want to be left behind. But if the hands are subtle, this next sign is like a neon sign flashing in the dark. It is called vasodilation, or simply the flush. You cannot fake this. You cannot act this. This is pure, raw biology. When a woman becomes sexually aroused, her blood pressure rises and her heart rate increases. To regulate this internal heat, her body opens up the capillaries near the surface of the skin. This creates a visible pink or reddish flush, usually starting on the chest, what they call the décollage area, and creeping up the neck to the cheeks. It looks like she is blushing, but she isn't embarrassed. She is hot. Literally, her metabolic rate has spiked because her body is preparing for the physical act of mating. You might notice her suddenly fanning herself with a menu or her hand. She might say something like, "Is it hot in here?" Or, "I need some air," even though the air conditioning is blasting. She might adjust her collar or pull her hair off her neck to cool down. If you see that flush on her chest and you see her trying to cool off while looking at you, the game is effectively over. You have won. Her body is betraying her. She is physically overheating due to your presence. Do not ignore this. Do not offer to turn down the AC. Recognize it for what it is, a biological green light that screams she is ready for escalation. We are down to the final, most critical phase of the interaction. This is the closer. You have read the eyes, you have seen the barrier collapse, you have heard the voice drop. Now it is time to say goodbye. Or is it? This brings us to the final sign, the lingering departure. A woman who is not interested, who has not been aroused by your presence, views the end of the date as an escape. She wants to get back to her safety zone. She will check the time, she will have her keys ready, and her feet will be pointed toward the exit. She gives you a quick side hug, a nice meeting you, and she is gone. That is the behavior of a woman who felt nothing, but a woman who is W3T, she is addicted to the dopamine hit you are giving her. She does not want to sever that connection. Watch her behavior when it's time to leave. Does she stall? Does she suddenly remember a funny story she forgot to tell you? Does she pull out her phone to show you a meme, forcing you to lean in close one last time? She is manufacturing time. She is fighting against the clock because she wants to stay in your orbit. And then comes the physical goodbye. This is the final test. When you go for the hug, pay attention to the contact points. A friendly hug is shoulders only with the hips pulled back. We call that the A-frame hug. It's polite and distant. However, an aroused hug is a full body press. She will wrap her arms around your neck or lower back, and she will press her torso, her chest, and her stomach firmly against yours. And the most important part, the duration. She will hold that hug for a split second longer than is socially necessary. She will take a deep breath while she is pressed against you, inhaling your scent. That hesitation to let go is her way of asking you not to let go. She is giving you one last window of opportunity to invite her home, to kiss her, to make the move. If you feel that full body press and that lingering hold, do not just walk away. That is a tragedy. That is a man who did all the work and left the paycheck on the table. Listen to me. Understanding these signs is not about manipulation. It is about clarity. It is about seeing the reality of the world around you. Most men are walking through life with a blindfold on, confused by mixed signals, getting friend-zoned and missing out on genuine desire because they are waiting for a written invitation. Nature does not write invitations. Nature speaks in dilated pupils, flushed skin, and lingering touches. Now that you have this knowledge, you have a responsibility to use it. You are no longer blind. You see the matrix. If you want to keep this level of insight coming, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and understand female psychology better than she understands it herself, you know what you need to do. Smash that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and drop a comment below telling me which one of these signs you have missed in the past. Don't be the guy who guesses, be the guy who knows. I'm out.